All right, let's cut through the noise. Forget all the abstract, high-level talk about AI. Today, we are getting into the actual blueprints. We're going to break down the exact architecture that the world's top companies are using to build autonomous AI agents, and we'll see how they're completely rewriting the rules of work. Let's get right into it.
$40 million. Let that sink in. That is the profit improvement the fintech company Klarna is projecting to make every year, all because of one single AI initiative. And we're not talking about some far-off future here. This is happening right now.
So how on earth did they do that? Well, just look at these numbers. They didn't just make a small improvement, they totally transformed the process. By rolling out a sophisticated AI assistant, Klarna took customer service resolution times from a long 11 minutes all the way down to 2. See, this isn't just basic automation. This is a huge leap into a whole new category of technology, the AI agent.
So let's be super clear on what we mean by AI agent. This is not just a chatbot that answers a few questions, not even close. You should think of it more like a seasoned investigator. It's a system that can think for itself, it can use tools, and it can manage a whole complex job from start to finish, all to hit a specific goal. It's a fundamental shift in how we get things done.
Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture strategy. Then we'll roll up our sleeves and dig into the core architecture. After that, we'll get into the really crucial part, the mindset shift that separates the winners from everyone else. And then we'll wrap it all up with a concrete action plan you can literally start using tomorrow.
So the potential here is just enormous, which, of course, leads to the biggest question right out of the gate. With all this power, where do you even start? Where do you point the fire hose?
You know, the best opportunities are usually hiding in plain sight. Just think about your own work. Where are those repetitive, manual tasks that just suck the life out of your team? Where do things grind to a halt because you're waiting for one specific expert to weigh in? And where do you just stare at a blank page because the task is so ambiguous you don't even know how to begin? Yeah, those are your prime targets.
And that leads us to our first framework. I love this quote from Claire Vaux. It's a mental model she calls the anti-to-do list. It's so simple, but it's genius. Just make a list of every single frustrating, annoying, manual thing you have to do. This isn't just about being a little more efficient. It's about fundamentally re-engineering your work by zeroing in on every single point of friction.
So once you have that amazing anti-to-do list, it's time to get strategic. Use this classic tool, the impact/effort framework. You just map every task onto this grid. Now, here's the absolute key. You start in the top left box, the quick wins. Why? Because these high-impact, low-effort tasks are how you build momentum. They get people excited, they prove the value of this whole approach, and they do it fast.
And to help your teams find those quick wins, you can teach them these 6 fundamental building blocks, or primitives. You know, things like automatically generating first drafts of marketing emails, summarizing pages and pages of research, or even writing basic boilerplate code. These core use cases pop up everywhere, in marketing and finance, you name it. Teaching your team to spot them is a massive shortcut to finding real scalable value.
Okay, so you've used the frameworks, you've found a high-impact, low-effort quick win. Awesome. Now, how do you actually build this thing? What are the real components of an agent?
At its heart, every single agent is built on this really simple triad. First, you've got the model. Think GPT-4o, which acts as the brain. It does all the reasoning. Then you have the tools, which are basically the hands. These are APIs that let the agent actually do things, like send an email or pull data from a database. And finally, you have the instructions. These are the rules of the game that define the agent's goal and its behavior.
Now, those instructions are absolutely critical, and their quality really boils down to how well you write your prompts. This slide here is basically a universal recipe for a perfect prompt. Just remember these 4 pillars. Give the agent a persona, a crystal clear task, all the necessary context, and the exact output format you're looking for. If you nail these 4 things, you're going to get amazing results.
As you start to build more complex systems, you'll need to get these agents working together. The 2 main ways to do this are the manager pattern, where one agent is kind of like a project manager, handing out tasks to specialists, and the decentralized pattern, where agents just hand off the whole job to one another in a sequence.
And I can't stress this enough. Whichever pattern you choose, safety is non-negotiable. It's not something you bolt on at the end. It has to be part of the core design. That means your agent's tools have to be constrained by guardrails, and its instructions must include a very clear process for when it needs to stop and ask a human for help.
So, we've talked strategy, we've talked tech, but let's be real, this is not just an engineering problem.
The companies that are getting the most incredible results from AI have gone through a really profound strategic and cultural shift. So let's break down what that actually looks like.
This right here shows the biggest difference. The most common mistake people make is treating AI like any other software rollout, a one-and-done setup. But the experts, they know better. They treat this like a whole new paradigm. They embrace an experimental mindset, ship something, get feedback, and then make it better, over and over and over again. And look, that experimental mindset is pretty much useless if you're not measuring things properly. And that's where evals come in. An eval isn't just some quick test. It is a formal, rigorous, structured process for measuring how well your AI is performing against very specific business goals. It's really the only way you can prove that your agent is stable, reliable, and actually ready for prime time.
And you can see the results for yourself. Morgan Stanley used really intensive evals to build trust in their AI tools for financial advisors. The impact was huge, dramatically improving access to critical information. And today, an incredible 98% of their advisors use their OpenAI tool every single day. See, evals build the trust you need for real adoption.
The other thing experts get is that the real magic doesn't come from the IT department building some generic, one-size-fits-all tool. The magic happens when you empower the people who are closest to the actual business problems, your subject matter experts, to build their own solutions. I mean, look at the bank BBVA. Their employees built almost 3,000 custom GPTs in just 5 months, solving all these super specific problems that IT never would have even known about.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. The strategy, the architecture, the expert mindset. Now, let's make this real. Let's turn all this theory into action.
Here's your plan for this week. It's super simple. Step 1, create that anti-to-do list of all the annoying tasks you hate. Step 2, score that list with the impact/effort framework we talked about. And step 3, pick one single quick win from that top left corner and just build a simple prototype. Don't try to boil the ocean here. The goal is to build momentum.
And this really isn't just about saving a little time on annoying tasks. Let's be very clear about what's at stake. The data shows that companies who truly become AI leaders see 1.5 times faster revenue growth and 1.6 times higher shareholder returns than their peers. The ROI is real and it is absolutely massive.
You know, the vast majority of AI's potential value, it's not in some crazy, futuristic moonshot project. It's sitting right there, waiting to be unlocked inside your core business functions, your finance teams, your marketing teams, your operations. The opportunity is just immense, and it all starts with one single, high-impact step. So, what's yours going to be?
So, what's the biggest thing you're taking away from these frameworks? I'd really love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're ready to go even deeper on all this stuff, the agent architecture, the strategy, the link to the full guide is right there in the description. Thanks so much for watching.